In lesson 42 of Learn Your Scales and Arpeggios for Clarinet, we begin the process of extending to 3 octaves the F sharp and G sequences of scales and arpeggios. As this is technically quite complex and can take some time to learn, this aspect of your learning will be spread over the next 5 lessons. The worksheet for this lesson can be downloaded from planzmusic.com. It provides a number of fingerings for top F sharp and instructions and exercises to help you choose which of these work for you and to include them in your scale playing. If you open the tab marked Clarinet Fingerings on planzmusic.com, you will find 10 fingerings for top F sharp and 15 for top G. There are many more, and players tend to develop their own variations. The choice of fingering depends on many factors, including the musical context, the physique of the player, and the characteristics of the instrument, mouthpiece, and reed. You will therefore need to choose which fingerings work for you. And in lesson 42, you are presented with a number of options to consider, along with exercises to test each option. Although lesson 42 is primarily about top F sharp, fingerings for top G are also discussed, as your choice for this note will have some bearing on which fingerings for F sharp you settle on. The simplest fingering for top F sharp, and traditionally the most popular, is the 3rd register option based on the fingerings for bottom register D and 2nd register A. This is problematic on most modern instruments as it tends to be rather flat. You can improve things a little bit by opening extra venting holes, such as this right hand fingering. But this isn't really very practical, as it will inhibit the movement to other adjacent fingerings. Here are 8 more fingerings for top F sharp. The option 1 fingering for top F sharp presented in this lesson is a little complicated and will take some getting used to, but it is stable and it can be played in tune. So it's top 2 in the left and everything in the right. You can use this fingering for F sharp throughout the F sharp and G sequences. It combines well with this fingering for top G, which is sometimes rather grandly referred to as the French conservatory fingering. So you open top and bottom holes. You will need to use the alternative right hand 4th finger fingering for E flat in the scale of G harmonic minor and in the diminished 7th starting on F sharp. Option 2 fingering for F sharp is based on the long F fingering first demonstrated in lesson 33. Here are the F and the F sharp. This can be combined with the same fingering for G as in option 1. It's not so easy to use in scales, but can be useful in G harmonic minor and in the diminished 7th starting on F sharp if you want to use your conventional fingering for E flat. You should use exercise exercise 77 to test these fingerings and see which will suit you best. The option 3 F-sharp fingering will seem very strange, but it is actually easy to play once you get used to it. Here is the option 3 F-sharp fingering. And you can move to a G like this. Care is needed here though. You should test these fingerings in exercise 78 to ensure that the notes produced are stable enough to use in your scales. Option 4 is easy to apply and can be used in all the F-sharp and G scales and arpeggios. But these fingerings can be very unstable and difficult to play in tune. It's just 2 and 2 followed by 1 and 1. Exercise 79 presents you with various dynamic levels and articulations, as these will have a bearing on the way these fingerings respond. You can also use this exercise to test out other F-sharp fingerings. Practice Plan 42 directs you to test these fingering options and make your own choices over the course of the 6 days, as well as drilling all 12 sequences. You should try to confine yourself to just 1 or 2 fingerings for top F-sharp and eliminate the others as you work your way through the practice plan. Once you've made your choices, it is very important that you stick to them, as you will now need to consolidate these fingerings through repeated practice.